Okay, so all of us have very busy lives that it keeps us distracted through our whole days, like through work, school, and personal things, and things in between. Keeps us very busy through our day. So having rest is a very important thing for us. But when does too much rest become an actual bad thing for us? A quote by Homer that says, "For too much rest itself becomes a pain," really emphasizes this. I'm going to talk about first how having too much rest becomes bad in my school, my work, not my work, sorry, my personal life, and how having too much rest actually becomes a bad habit could impact other things in your life in a negative way. So in school, many of us have projects, homework, and then you're like doing full-time school with 12 units or more. You have 4 classes or more. You have a lot of homework, a lot of essays, and sometimes you get really tired of it, and you just can't take it. So taking a 30-minute break between all that is pretty good. But sometimes you take too long of breaks and you start procrastinating and say, I'll just do it like in an hour. Then an hour becomes 2 hours, and then by then the day's done and you're not done with it. And you just left it for the next day. And if it's due the next day, then you just don't do it and you just get a bad grade. So when this happens, you just it just becomes bad. It impacts your grades in a bad way. This has happened to me many times where I just leave it off and say I'm gonna do it later, just take a quick break. And then I'm not doing it, and I just forget about it, and then just impacts me badly. Another part of rest has affected me in personal life is doing exercise. I personally don't like doing exercise, but I just force myself. But when you do go and work out, like I work every week, and when you do work every week, your muscles do get tired, and you do need rest, a day or two between each routine, and because rest helps you get energy back, regain your muscle strength, and it helps you rebuild the muscle, get you stronger. But sometimes I also take too long of a break doing my routines and just miss out a week, and it just after a week you just go and you go back in, you just feel weak, and you feel like you just lost everything you worked for, you gained for, and it just impacts you negatively. And so too much long of a rest also affects other parts of your life. If you keep doing it over and over, it is bad for you, but you just have to build this habit of taking too long of a rest, and it's just part of what you do now. So you trying to avoid too long of a rest should be a thing that you should try to accomplish and have it regulated, and because rest is good for you, and it should be involved during your lives, but having too much rest is bad. Thank you.
I like the idea of the busy lives that we lead as your attention device, and then kind of coming around to what the quote is and talking about how too much rest is a problem, and you sort of agree with that. It sounded like you were originally going to have 3 points, and then the second point was school, and the third point was personal lives. I couldn't tell what that first point was, but when you got to the body of the speech, then there was just the 2 points that you were really talking about. So I'm not sure why it felt like there was something else there, but there was. It's probably just a couple of words or phrases that you used as you were getting started. The idea of it becoming rest, stemming from procrastination was okay, and some of the examples that you have are a little abstract. I think most people can kind of relate to them because they are in the same situation as you, especially when you're a student. You've got similar kinds of things that it's easy to let slip by. The presentation part, I think you look at the audience pretty regularly. That part is solid. You do have you do look kind of throughout the audience. You're not just focused in the one spot. That part is good. I think that you've got some gestures that are also pretty effective while you're speaking. You seem engaged. In fact, I think the gestures do the most to give the speech a sense of immediacy, that you are connecting or trying to connect with the audience. Maybe your voice could be have a little bit more variety in it, but it was, I could hear you, and I didn't think there was anything problematic. Just maybe the energy levels could have a little bit more variety to them. At the end of the speech, it felt a little bit rushed, like you had an idea that you wanted to finish with, but you just had to get through to the end, and I think you lose a little bit of effectiveness as a result. But for the most part, things are very solid. All right, thank you.